Good day, my viewers. I welcome you to our continuation learning series of science subject and mathematics. Which topic are we going to look at today and which subject? We are going to be looking at the subject physics. And which topic are we going to focus on? We are going to focus on the topic called motion. We look at what motion under physics today. Before we go further, as we normally do on this channel, let us first of all look at our learning objective. That is, what are the things are we going to learn in today's subject and topic? Let's go by the learning objective, one after the other. For the learning objective, we are going to be looking at what is motion. We are going to define what is motion. Okay, we now move on to look at what's called types of motion. We have different types of motion. And lastly, we are going to look at examples of each types of motion. Examples of each type of motion. So these are our three learning objectives. Now let's go and find the topic now. Having said that, what do we call motion? Every day and then we walk from one place to another. We move in the market. You see things moving around. These are some of the things we experience day in, day out of our life. So that means that we normally experience motion either by ourselves or by some things that is around us, such as the movement of, you can see that the fan, the blade of our fan, either ceiling fan or standing fan, normally move. This one also undergoes what's called motion. When we are moving, we are inside a car, we are driving a car, a motion is taking place. So virtually means that every time here and there, motion is taking place one way or the other. But most of us at times we are not taking cognizance of that. So what do you call the motion? We can say that motion simply means the change in the position of an object. So when your position changes, that means you have undergo what? Motion. Okay, as I'm standing before you now, if I move a little bit back or I move forward, I have undergo what's called what? Motion, because my position have changes. So changes in the position of an object with time is called what? Motion. So let's put it down. Motion. How do we define motion? You can put it down. Motion is the change in position. Change in the position of an object with time, because our position change from one place to another based on time. So changes in the position of an object with time is called what? Motion. And what normally brings about this motion is called what? Force. Force is something that brings about what? Motion. That's another topic for another day. We are going to look at force in the near future. Force. So having defined what is motion, let us now look at types of motion. What are the types of motion? I think we have basically four types of motion. Four types. We have what is called translational motion. Translational motion. Okay. So we also have a rotational motion. Rotational motion. Okay. Thirdly, we have what's called what? We have oscillatory motion. Okay. And the fourth one we can call random motion. Random motion. So basically you can say that these four are the four basically types of motion. Although you see our circular motion, when an object move in circle or move in a circular path, that's what's called circular motion. But let's focus our mind on these four types of motion. Now what do you call translational motion? I move like this. So moving from one place to another in a straight line, we can say that one is what? Translational motion. Movement of an object from one place to another, especially in a straight line, is called what? Translational motion. A student leave his classroom, go to another classroom, we can call it called what? A translational motion. A student move from one lecture room to another, you can call it what? A translational motion. So you can put it down. Translational motion. Translational motion. Okay. This is the motion, okay, type of motion when types of motion from one place when a body moves from one place to another, moves from one place to another, from one place to another. Okay, so let's say from point A to point B, from point A to point B is called a translational motion. The example, movement of a boy or a student from one classroom to another. If I decide to move from this place now to the next place there, we can call it what? Translational motion. Okay, so now let us now look at the second part, which we call what? Rotational motion. Rotational motion. This is the types of motion whereby an object or a body move in its own axis. So when a body move, turn about a fixed point. When a body move or turn about a fixed point, call it what? Rotational. The motion, put it down, the motion of a body. The motion of a body which turns about a fixed point. Which turns about a fixed axis. Let's say fixed axis is called a rotational. Rotational. Like example, rotational of Earth along its axis. Rotation of Earth along its axis is called what? Rotational motion. Rotational. Likewise, what? The movement of a car wheel, the movement of a ceiling, let's say the movement of ceiling fan, okay, it's called what? A rotational motion. Is that clear? So movement of a ceiling fan, let's say this is our ceiling fan, okay, point. This is the hand blade, this is arm blade. So the movement like this as it's rotating about this fixed point is called a rotational motion. Rotational motion. Okay, about a fixed axis. So the rotation of the Earth, okay, about its fixed axis called what? A rotational motion. And then number 3, there's something called what we call what? Oscillatory motion. Number 3 called oscillatory motion. What do you call oscillatory motion? This simply means to and fro movement of an object. To and fro movement of an object about a fixed point. To and fro movement of object about a fixed point is called what? An oscillatory motion. So let's put it down. Oscillatory motion. Okay. Let's say this is to and fro movement. I'll explain on it. To and fro movements, okay, of a body about a fixed point. About a fixed point. That's what we call oscillatory motion. Swing of a pendulum. Swing of a pendulum. If something goes like this, moving of a pendulum like this, moving to and fro like this is called oscillatory motion. Like the bell that have normally used to make noise. The bell moving like this is called oscillatory motion. That is a movement of simple pendulum. Example, movement of what's called simple pendulum. Movement of simple pendulum. Let's say we have something like this, our pendulum, about a fixed point. We have something like this. Okay? We have something like this. We have something like this. Let's say this is a pendulum. Okay? Swing is to and fro like this. It's going like this. Okay? It's going like this. Going like this, coming like this, going like this, called what? an oscillatory motion. So that's what we are saying. So that's what we call the oscillatory motion or vibration of a guitar string. Vibration of a guitar string. When you plug a guitar string, now the way it move, vibrate like that. To and fro is called an oscillatory motion. So that's what we are saying. Okay. So let us now look at the last one called what? Random motion. Called random motion. What do you call a random motion? Random motion simply means a kind of non-directional motion, zigzag. If an object does not move in a specified direction, moving a zigzag, call it zigzag, or moving just without any definite pattern. Random motion. Random motion. Okay, this is, let's put it down. This is a motion. This is a motion. Okay, without keyword, without any definite pattern. Without any definite pattern. Okay, we can call it zigzag. Zigzag movements. Zigzag movement of a body. Okay, example, movement of gas. Movement of gases. Okay, movement of molecules of gases, and there was smoke in air. That was smoke. Example, smoke in air. You can see that when somebody put a smoke, the smoke can be moving in any direction, not a certain pattern. It can be moving. So smoke in the air is under what's called what? Random motion. Okay. Likewise, what? Movement of people or what? In the markets. It can be moving anyhow. Zigzag. Movement of people in the market is also called what? The random motion, or the what? The molecule of gases. Movement of molecule of gases. So molecule of gases is also called what? Random motion. Zigzag. Non-directional, not a particular pattern. It can be moving. Or even the movement of insects. Movement of insect anyhow is called a random motion. Moving like this, 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 moving like this. You can see. So this movement is called what? Called random motion. Non-specific pattern. Okay. So we are able to see. Also have what's called circular motion. Circular motion simply means when an object tend to move in what? In circular pattern. Moving in a circular pattern. So circular motion. Those are circular motion. When an object moves in a circular path. Okay, like what? Revolution of the earth around the sun. Revolution of the earth around the sun is called what? A form of circular motion. Likewise, you also have some motion. An object can experience more than one type of motion at the same time. Yes, an object at times can experience more than one type of motion at the same time. Example, if you look at the movement when you are the driving wheel, when you are driving. So the movement in the driving can be what? Can be what? Rotational, and can also be called what? Can also be called what? Translational. So the movement can be what? Rotational, can also be what? Translational. So what I'm trying to say here is that at times you can experience more than one type of motion at the same time. Okay, so with this one we have been able to achieve our learning objective. We have defined what is a motion. Changes in the position of a body with time. Types of motion: oscillatory motion, translational motion, random motion, and then what? To mention the few, and then we have looked at example of each types of motion. So this is where we are going to stop today. We are able to achieve all our learning objective. So till we meet again, kindly subscribe to my YouTube channel so that you can be able to see all the other topics we have done in this channel under physics, the one we have done and the one we are still going to do. So subscribe to my YouTube channel, and on this channel we teaches more than one type of subject. We look at mathematics as well, we look at chemistry, we also look at biology. So subscribe to my YouTube channel so that you can able to see all these other subjects and their topics. So till we meet again, I say you should remain scientifically and mathematically intelligent. Bye bye.